friends. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Happy Conversations with Day, where we get to have our friend Ann Mansfield here.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're going to jump right into it, Ann, because I know you have such neat information to share, both about what you provide here on campus as SRJC, and then also a bit of some personal stories too. So would you start off with sharing about your role here?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. Well, thank you very much for having me. Thank you for the work that you're doing at the college for our students in financial aid. I appreciate that you're meeting with students and creating an environment that's comfortable when they come into your office. And so thank you. Thank you for being there. My role at the college is under workforce development. I am situated in the Career Hub. That's on the third floor of Bertolini. We are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And we help students with all types of things in terms of their career development, job search. If students are interested in getting an internship, we have an internship coordinator in our department who helps students navigate that process. We have work experience in the Career Hub. So if you're interested in receiving credit for your work experience, the Career Hub is a place where you would come and learn about how that works. For me personally here, I do a lot of one-on-one with students, looking at career options, industry. We sit down and review resumes, cover letters, building LinkedIn profiles. So anything that's going to help students get ready to either continue their role in a role that they have, if they're interested, for example, in moving in a situation that they're into a new career or that they want to advance. So a lot of those discussions take place. Sometimes we hold workshops on salary negotiation, interviewing skills, all of that. So it's always a good time to come in to the Career Hub. You don't have to, you can be employed, you can be full-time in your academic journey. We just want you to come in and see what type of services that we might be able to help you with. And so that's my joy, and that's what I do here at the college.
So wonderful. Thank you. That's a really nice, comprehensive overview of your offerings. And it gives me goosebumps, really, because it's so robust. And I know that your professional experience, really feeds into, our students' needs. And we've talked about it before. I know we lost Drina. She'll be back soon, I'm sure. But I'm sure she would echo the sentiments in that, you and I have talked about this before, that so most students who are here, they're seeking education to find, the right career for them. They're seeking to eventually gain employment. And boy, what a better way to really promote themselves and to advertise their skills and their abilities than to connect with you as a job developer. It's a service that must be utilized by our students. And I really consider you a necessity. And I'm so grateful that we get to refer students to you.
Thank you. Yes, I think the main thing is just, we're always advocating, we're always putting the word out that we're here. And I know sometimes students aren't exactly sure when it is the right time to come or what exactly we do. So it is very comprehensive. And I think also just receiving feedback on either something you've written in terms of your job application, or just getting, confirmation that you're on the right track. And that's what we do here. We're a very supportive department, and, we work with students and alumni, and have a lot of outreach into the community as well.
Cool. And you also tapped on something that reminded me about, in my experiences applying for a job, like it's difficult sometimes to really promote yourself or know what the right things to say and the ways in which you do it. And I remember there are times you've told me that you had mock interviews scheduled with students, and oh my God, like that is such a neat thing to be able to offer someone. And it's important for students to remember that these services that we get to share about, these are part of the students' resources that are free, right? Like they don't have to pay to come see you, to help build their LinkedIn account or do a mock interview. That's huge.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. These are services that are available to all students, as I mentioned, and alumni. And, for the medium that you choose, we do phone calls, we do virtual appointments, you can come in. So our offerings are wide, and we just, we do believe that career readiness is so helpful in building candidacy for the next move.
So wonderful. Well, this is for sure, I feel like a welcome, to the community to come see you, meet you, use your professional skills. And I also want to I'll see if we can kind of tap into being that we also want to share about financial aid and again, really try to normalize this experience. Most of us here have some kind of relationship to financial aid, whether it's applying for it ourselves, working, of course, in the industry like I am, or even as a parent, helping their student navigate the system. I wonder if you might have a minute or two to share about your experience with financial aid.
Sure. I think my sort of intersection with financial aid is twofold. The first one, before I came to Santa Rosa Junior College, I was at SSU, working in their career center. And in that capacity, we talked about financial aid a lot with students. Even though financial aid was separate from our department, we had those discussions. But where I really worked closely with financial aid was when I was in the high school environment. Because when students were considering attending the JC or any college, one of the variables was obviously money. And so my time at the high school with the students was also working very closely with the parents and the family, because the financial aid impact was felt, not just solely on the student, but with the family in its entirety. So I really enjoyed that process, because we were very much about educating families and holding things like financial literacy evenings and making financial aid, as you mentioned, sort of more, something that it's not, you don't have to be concerned about it or scared of it, but you need to understand it. So we did a lot of that work. We also helped students complete their FAFSA. I know that process is a little bit more streamlined now, but a few years ago, not as much. And just working with those deadlines and talking to students and families about the importance of those deadlines. So that really brought me the closest to financial aid, not only as a support system for the families at the high school, but also really understanding the nuances of the system and helping translate that into something that felt obtainable.
It's so neat that you have that experience, because to me, it can tell the student that you understand even more what their experience is like. A student's experience is dynamic and multifaceted, and if we as a community can reach out and just even empathize with the student, that the impact of applying for financial aid can be profound, but also the end result of applying for financial aid can be really profound. So it's really neat that you have that experience and really can see the student's perspective from a different opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And I think the other way that I've engaged or been exposed to financial aid is more personal. When my son was applying to schools, I knew that was going to be part of the equation. He did receive some scholarship money. He was in the UC system, so there were some resources there. But just working through that with my own family and understanding that this was a process that we were going to have to continue to do each year. It can be kind of daunting that first year and thinking, boy, I'm going to have to continue to do this, and kind of anticipating those deadlines or that application process it felt pretty huge at the time, because we knew without it that potentially the education, receiving that education where he wanted to be, would be a little bit harder. So that process, at that point was more digital. We could complete more online. But I think, too, one of the things in not only that experience, but my own experience going back to school after 25 years and thinking, how am I going to fund my education? Financial aid became huge for me. It definitely became the means in order for me to be in this particular career. I couldn't, without the education that I received, I couldn't be in this role. But I'm so happy because in both of those processes, we had great financial aid counselors. Great. And they did what you're doing. They wanted to help. It was support. It was explanation and navigation. And I kind of could get settled down a bit, because money is scary and there's emotions surrounding money, and there's, going into some kind of debt. There's some risk taking involved. So our financial aid counselors, both my son's and mine, really helped us get grounded in the decision and move forward. And as you mentioned, the outcome, we paid those loans off. We're in our careers, and I wouldn't do it any other way, because I also think there's some growth in doing it. I know for sure for my son being able to build credit and make payments. And so I think there was a maturity about him acquisitioning the funding and understanding he had to own that, and that at the end, there would be a payment process.
Wow, that is really inspiring. Sincerely, it's such a neat thing to hear, boy, and you have many levels of experience, and I'm so grateful that it was positive for you. I know that we talk to students whose experience is frankly not positive, either in their experience in applying for, or even eventually receiving the funds based on eligibility and things like that. So, when I hear situations like those, I want to try to fix them, but it's worth celebrating, anytime anyone's able to share of a positive experience. And clearly, ultimately, it's just beautiful to hear that you are where you are, because of all of these steps that you took. And I think I say it almost every recording that if a student if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So this is a message to our students and our friends watching that, if you're wondering if you need assistance, whether it's in finding the right career for you, in forming your path, please come see our friends in the Career Hub and Workforce Development, and come see us in financial aid. We are committed to helping you through the process, and all along the way. Like Anne said, she's lucky to even work with alumni, and I most certainly, welcome to work with students beyond their time here at SRJC. We know that the time with financial aid continues when you're transferring and beyond. So Anne, thank you so much for sharing. And I want to just add that I'm sorry, Drina, we lost you, but we look forward to, being with you on our next episode, and everyone else out there who at this time, the fall semester will have just started by the time you're watching this. So just everyone know that we are rooting for you all the way. And like Anne's office, we are here open Monday through Friday in person. We continue to offer services via Zoom, phone, and email. And so whatever capacity you feel most comfortable, please reach out to us, and know that it's not too late to apply for financial aid. The FAFSA and the California Dream application continue to be open, and the opportunities are abundant. By the time you're watching this, also, our scholarship application will be open. The Foundation Scholarship application opens technically August 22nd. It will close on October 1st. So you've got a good near 6 weeks or so to get your application in and be considered for SRJC scholarships for the spring semester. So with that, I just want to, again, thank you, Anne. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you on campus, and everyone else, I look forward to seeing you too.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.